Hi guys, welcome back. You guys, I am so excited to share this new Birkin bait video. These videos have kind of taken on a life of their own. I'm so glad they're popular because I love reading new tea about new offers and new scores. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to tell you about this. But before we get started, okay, I'll come to Jesus talk before we get started. Some of the comments, boo boo, in my Big H videos have not been passing the vibe check. Keep it Gucci in the comments, please. With peace and love in my Michael Jackson voice, please leave kind comments or kind opinions. You don't have to agree with everything, but please be kind when you're watching Birkin bait. Don't forget, this is a real person who shared their bait with us. They didn't have to share. They could gatekeep the information, and they opted not to, and they opted to share it with me. Please be kind. Don't compare yourself and start comparing, because I know there are going to be people who are like, I turned up to Big H in my knickers and my pants, and I bought, a soap, and I got a Himalayan 25. I know there's people out there, they always come and be like, I turned up in my pants and my knickers. Don't compare, okay? Are we Gucci? Are we passing the vibe check? I think we're gonna pass the vibe check. Okay, let's get started. I'm very excited. So, this Glamazon scored 3 bags. She got a mini Kelly, a mini Constance, and a non-quote bag. I will reveal the non-quote bag during the story. So let's get started. Okay, I'm not going to mention the stores that she went to and where she got her offers, but I'll mention what she got. That way, I think it's more powerful to know what she got versus knowing where she got them. At the end of the day, there are only 3 Big H boutiques in Paris anyway. I think this story and her experience can be replicated. And I think that's one reason why I wanted to share, because I think generally speaking, you can pretty much, when I say replicate, it means you can take it on and try and kind of make it your own. Okay, so day one, she's looking incredible. She's looking snatched, honey. She's looking amazing. She goes to the store. She goes to store number 1. She gets there and she's just kind of feeling things out. It's busy. There are a lot of clients milling around the boutique. And then she's like, okay, let me go to the fine jewelry section. She goes to the fine jewelry section. She sees an essay there. She tells the essay, I want to buy some fine jewelry. The essay starts showing her a bunch of fine jewelry. She decides to get a fine jewelry necklace that has sapphires in it, okay? And then after she has made her payment for the necklace, she's like, hey, can you help me get a leather appointment? And actually, sorry, hold on. Just before that, after she commits to the necklace, I beg your pardon, she is like, oh, do you have any ready to wear? They take her to the essay does. The essay takes her to the ready to wear because she's like, I can't help you with that department. Let me take you to the ready to wear department. She looks for some things, but she doesn't find anything. So she's like, okay, fine. Then after she pays for the necklace, she's like, can you help me get a leather appointment? And then she tells, the essay is like, what are you looking for? And she's like, I would like to get a mini Kelly, the Kelly Pochette, or the Birkin 20. And then the essay is like, look, it's gonna be really difficult because all the appointments are done for today, but maybe if I can take you to the leather desk, we'll see if you can get an appointment. So the essay goes with her to the leather desk, and the leather desk essay is like, hey, come back later on in the afternoon. And then she's like, okay, fine. So she leaves the store. She comes back later with her fiance, and goes to the desk like, hey, I was told to come back, later on this afternoon. But now there's someone else at the desk, and that individual says, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any cancellations. There's no way to get a cancellation. So that's day 1 at store 1. She doesn't get the contacts of the jewelry essay who helped her, and off she goes and leaves. Okay. Now later on day 2, basically, she then goes to store number 2 with her fiance. They get there, and her fiance is like, okay, I'm gonna buy a watch. I'm gonna pick out a watch. He picks out a very beautiful, pricey watch. This is important to mention. It's really beautiful, but it is pricey. He picks it out, and he's like, okay, fine. He's talking to the essay. They're talking about other things, and then he commits to the watch. And then after that, the essay gives her contact details to her fiance, and then her fiance does ask hey, can you help us get a leather appointment? And the essay is like, let's make an appointment for another day. And then they're like, okay, cool. They make an appointment for another day. Now they come back another day, so you can see how now their days and days coming along, you can see how long this takes. They come back another day, and that day they've made the appointment with the SA who sold them the watch. Don't forget, this is store number 2, and then this is essentially her leather appointment that the SA has created for her at store number 2. And then the SA is like, what do you want? And then she does the same thing again. She requests a mini Kelly, a Kelly pochette, or the mini Birkin, which is the Birkin 20. And she does like request like, you know, like she does request like some other things as well, but she's like, want mini Kelly pochette, or the small Birkin, the Birkin 20. And then she is offered, then the SA is like, okay, let me go look. And she's actually offered the mini Kelly in one of the standard leathers in a very desirable neutral color. She's also offered an exotic non-quote bag that she ends up passing on because she didn't like it. We both of us, me and the Glamazon, obviously we both like exotics. Like, she likes exotics, but this one just wasn't like the one that she was looking for. But she did request some other bags after getting her offer. She did request a mini Constance, and she also requested some other non-quote bags. She requested a like Kelly to go, Constance to go, but she was told none of those were available. But the SA at store number 2 did say like, hey, I do have a ostrich mini Kelly if you're interested. This was obviously before before that she had been offered the standard leather one, but she was like, I do have an ostrich mini Kelly if you're interested. And she was like, I'm not interested because I already have ostrich in my collection and I'm looking for another type of exotic leather, which they didn't have. Okay, so successful honey. Wigs have been snatched, store number 2. The Glamazon and her fiance have been successful. Things are popping, everything's great. Okay, but then another day they go to store number 3 to try, because don't forget, under her fiance's profile, they have been successful and have gotten the mini Kelly, and they've been successful, but under her profile, she hasn't been successful up until this point. So they go to store number 3. And they both go together. They buy ready to wear. She does try to ask for cancellation. She tries to ask for an SA to help her, but the SA is like, sorry, I can't help you. You have to try online. The same story. Okay. All right. So then at this point, the experience at store number 3 is a cold experience. The SAs are not friendly. They're not nice. They're not welcoming. They're not warm. The vibes are not there. And I'm definitely a fan of when the vibes are not popping, I think it's fine to just forget about the boutique and move on, because I think a lot of this as well is also vibes. And if something feels good, it didn't feel good when she was there, she didn't have a good experience at store number 3, so she decided to move on, and I think she made the right decision. She, at this point, she never goes back to store number 3 again, and she never goes back to store number 3, and no one wanted to basically help her get a leather appointment there. All right, now another day she goes back to, it takes days, honey. Another day she goes back to store number 1 to find the jewelry SA who had helped her buy the fine jewelry. And she finds her, and the SA is like, oh, hey, you're back. She's like, yeah, I'm back. And then she picks up a fine jewelry ring and she buys some ready to wear with her. And then after picking up her items, the fine jewelry and the ready to wear, she gets the WhatsApp contact for the SA, and then the SA is like, look, it's going to be super hard because you're super busy right now to get a Birkin or Kelly. It's going to be really competitive. It's going to be very difficult to get one, but I'll see what I can do. She said that she had to speak to other people to see if that she could help her, because, by the way, her and her fiance have been trying every single day while they've been in Paris, and they have been denied the leather appointment, so don't forget that. And then eventually the SA from store number 1, where she goes back to get the fine jewelry ring and the ready to wear, is like, sends her a message saying, hey, like, I can give you an appointment, can you come to the boutique another day? So she's like, okay, cool. So she goes back to the boutique another day for her appointment with the SA at store number 1, and she is hereafter offered the mini Constance and a very beautiful picotin in a really nice size and a very desirable neutral color. She does ask for a mini Kelly, but she's told that it's been really difficult and there are no Birkins and Kellys available. Her fiance also asked as well. He also is like, oh, are you sure you can't get a Birkin or Kelly? He was like, I'm sure, but I do have this, which was the mini Constance. Now, the interesting thing here that I wanted to talk about is that while she, you know, is told there are no Birkins and Kellys, she does have a really interesting encounter where she actually saw and met a very, very, very famous person. This person is very famous. So she told me who the person was. The person's incredibly famous. Even when she told me who the person was, I recognized the person. And she met this really, really famous person. And she was like, you know, like there are a lot of famous people and celebrities. Not, and I know you're thinking like, oh, it's Cardi B. It's not Cardi B. But there are a lot of famous people who are at the boutique at the moment. And she was wondering like, would that have affected her offer? It's hard to tell. Maybe, I don't know, because obviously if there are like a lot of famous people, like influencers and like A-list celebrities, like, you know, is that going to affect people's offers? Maybe. But she did meet a famous person, and she said, you know, there are famous people there and they were getting bag offers. It's worth mentioning that. So anyway, she gets the mini Constance in a beautiful pink color. She gets a picotin in a neutral color. She asked for a mini Kelly and she's told, you know, they're none available and there are no Birkins and Kellys are really low right now, but contact me next time you're in town and stay in touch with me, okay? So yeah, that is her success. She was very successful. So let's talk about the ratio of her loyalty. Let's go based off the experience she had with her fiance at store number 2, because store number 2 is the boutique that delivered the mini Kelly. So based off that experience, her loyalty was 3-1 for the mini Kelly, because she got the mini Kelly on its own at store number 2, but at store number 1 she got the mini Constance and the picotin. Okay, and at store number 3, she unfortunately wasn't successful. It wasn't a good experience, which is very unfortunate, because even when we were talking, it's very, very unfortunate that it didn't work out there and that it was a cold experience. And it is like that. Sometimes, you know, people make, you know, the Parisian boutique sound like, you know, Pegasus Cupcake Unicorn, you know, moments, and sometimes it can be cold and not particularly friendly, okay? But anyway, she had a good experience at store number 1 and store number 2. So we'll use the ratio for the mini Kelly. It's 3-1 based off the experience at store number 2. Now, her loyalty is obviously more than 3-1, because obviously she was very loyal at store number 1. So let's just recap her loyalty at store number 1. At store number 1, she purchased fine jewelry necklace, a fine jewelry ring, and ready to wear. Okay. At store number 3, she purchased ready to wear as well. At store number 2, she her and her fiance picked up a very, very special pricey men's watch. Okay. All right, so that is the total loyalty. I'm super excited now for us to kind of go into detail and chat about the key takeaways and the key lessons learned from this very successful story here. She is like when we were discussing like why she was successful, I first of all was telling her that I think she was successful as well, because she, first of all, she's really nice, but also she looked amazing, and I do think that this matters, and she agrees with me. So the first takeaway is like look really nice. At all of the boutiques where she went, she looked really amazing. She had designer ready to wear on. She was carrying like top tier luxury handbags, not just from Big H, but also from other brands as well. Like, she looked really amazing. I do think how you look does matter, particularly if you want really special pieces. And I think if you want the really small bags, like the 25 centimeter bags and under, so the 25 centimeter, the Kelly pochette and the mini Kelly, I do think the way you present yourself, it does matter. Maybe for the larger bags, it doesn't matter, I don't know. But I think for the mini Kelly bag, so the Kelly pochette, I think it does matter. The next takeaway, after we were discussing like where she was successful, I think the biggest takeaway to take from this success story is the experience at boutique number 2, where they bought the and they picked up the watch, the men's watch. I do think all men's items really count, but definitely the men's timepieces really count. There's no question about it. So that is something to take away from this. But also, a megawatt piece really counts. So by megawatt, what I mean is one piece that stands out on its own, that has the price tag to match, and that is from one of the top tier categories. So fine jewelry and timepieces. I think ready to wear is still powerful, like a really pricey coat. I do think that counts, but I think timepieces and fine jewelry for men and women count more than ready to wear. I think with ready to wear, it really needs to be like one of their cashmere coats or something like that. But a megawatt piece from any of those 3 top tier categories that is singular, commands attention, and that has the price tag to match, that will put you on a good trajectory to getting a very coveted offer. And she got a very coveted offer, probably the most desirable mini Kelly in the regular leather, in a very hot neutral color that everyone wants. Like everyone wants this, and she got that. Obviously based off the strength of that very powerful megawatt purchase from a boutique number 2. Okay, so I do think that is like something to take note of as well. The third takeaway is like the power of like a good essay who is nice. There are a lot of essays in Paris, and this is something I noticed in February, who seem like they are crocodiles themselves. Like they will, happily kind of get you to spend and brook you for money, and not like want to help. There are those people, and I think she met some unkind essays who weren't particularly friendly at boutique number 3, so she just decided to move on. But the essay from store number 1 wanted to help. She was showing loyalty, but the essay did want to help, and the essay from store number 2 also wanted to help. Now granted, she was with her fiance at boutique number 2. That does, I think, help, because I do think that it is just a little bit easier for men, I think, to get offers. But to be honest, she did, in my opinion, she got the offers from boutique number 1. I feel like it was a team effort basically between both accounts. Like she was there when they went together at boutique number 2. At boutique number 1, she would go like once on her own, and then she'd come back with him, and then she'd go back alone again. So I think having your partner there is also great, but her experience also shows, like with boutique number 1, that you can succeed without your partner. Your partner doesn't have to be there, but of course it's a good thing if he is as well. The next takeaway from this success story is don't lose hope and don't panic. So like after the experience that she had at store number 3, other people would have taken it personally and been upset. And this happens like in particularly the Big H Paris scene. Some people take it personally and get upset. Don't get upset and don't take it personally. It's not a personal attack against you. Maybe the rude essays were having a bad day, maybe they were just whatevering, who knows, but don't take it personally. I'm really glad she didn't take it personally, because after she was done with that experience, she then got the really awesome offers from boutique number 1, which is the mini Constance and the Picotin, in a really desirable color, and they're both really desirable. So like it worked out in the end. So don't lose hope and don't panic. I think that is something which is also really important as well. Okay, so those are the key takeaways from this experience. What do I think about this experience? Well, first of all, I'm really happy for her. It's given me hope because I'll be heading to Europe soon. So it's given me hope as well for myself. I definitely think the thing of buying like 1 megawatt bait item, I think that's a great strategy versus like, I think there's something to be said for diluting your power as a client by shopping in too many shopping sprees. I think it's probably a better idea to go hard in one shopping spree with like 1 megawatt purchase and then a few other items versus shopping many times. And we did discuss this together, and she does agree with me. It's probably better to just go on one shopping experience. If you feel like the vibe with the essay is good, you can go and pick up like a megawatt piece from you know, fine jewelry, from timepieces for men and women, or like a really megawatt prêt-à-porter piece from women's or men's. Like if the megawatt piece is like a diamond bracelet or like a timepiece or a ring, I feel like on its own it's fine, because it's like, whoa, this is like a mega piece that's really pricey, and I feel like the SA will want to help you. But I feel like it's probably better to just go hard in one appointment or in one shopping session versus shopping across all 3 boutiques and shopping in each one. Of course, it's normal though, particularly if you follow this channel and you like Big H, it's normal to want to shop at all the stores. Like, if I went to New York today, I want to visit all the Big H stores. Like, I want to go to Madison Avenue, I'd want to go to Wall Street, you know, I'd want to go to Meatpacking. I want to see them because I'm excited to see them. And it's a shop at the end of the day. You're not going to go in and not buy something, you're going to buy something. So I think that those are the sort of key takeaways from this. But of course, I'm really excited to hear the success story. It's so exciting because I'll be heading to Europe soon, so it's giving me hope. And sometimes, like, you need hope when you hear people succeeding. You need hope. So I think it was really exciting to me to hear the Minnie Kelly success story, because that's what I want to get in Paris. And I think the Minnie Kelly success stories are very thin on the ground. It's very rare, particularly in desirable colors. We're not talking about in dark colors, like, no offense, like in the sort of dark colors that sometimes, like, there are a lot of these dark colors that people talk about, but like in really desirable colors that people love, you know? So it was really awesome to hear about this story. I would love to know what you think. What are your thoughts on this? I think I've basically recapped everything. I've recapped her loyalty. So the ratio for the Minnie Kelly, 3-to-1. I've recapped all the items she picked up. She shopped across prêt-à-porter and fine jewelry. You know, at this point, the story kind of writes itself. You kind of feel like you know the things I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna try and not be too repetitive. You know what you need to do. Keep it Gucci, honey, and you know what you need to do. Is anyone heading to Paris soon? Are any of you heading to Paris in the next 2-3 months? And if you are, let me know. I'll wish you Godspeed, and I'll wish that you are successful. Of course, as usual, I will be fully transparent. Once I get there, you'll see me there, and I'll be transparent, because that's what I'm trying to build on this platform. And I'm so grateful that she shared her story with me. By the way, all of these Birkin Bait videos have a playlist. You can just watch all of them on the Birkin Bait playlist. I think it's called Bait Lists. So you can just go watch it on the playlist, and also go join the group. I think if you love Big H, I'd love to see that. But you don't just have to like Big H. If you love Louis Vuitton and Dior and Big Gucci and all the girls, honey, like, the group's for you. By the way, I'm on the Threads app thing. Like, fun guys, do you not feel like Mark Zuckerberg is like low-key skull dragged Elon Musk with Threads? It's amazing. I'm on Threads, go find me there, say hello. And of course, I'm on all social media, Facebook, Instagram. I have an email newsletter. I've got everything, honey, like, I'm everywhere, okay? You know, like, I'm everywhere, okay? You can't miss me, so you know what to do. And just before I go, you know, one of the things with like posting like Big H content and Big H in general is I feel like there's a kind of divide, I think, between the old guard and the new guard in terms of talking about this brand. I think that there are people who've been shopping at the brand for many years who were shopping at the Maison before the social media frenzy kind of took over this brand. Not just social media, but like Big H and pop culture. Like, the Migos wrote a song about Jane Birkin. I believe the song is called Jane Birkin. Like, Big H is like kind of is like in pop culture, it's in music, it's in hip hop culture, it's everywhere, you know? And I think a lot of the people in the old guard for Big H don't want to share, because they feel like the way they experience Big H was very different. This is just my kind of feeling, because anytime I film these Birkin Bait videos, there are always people saying, you know, like, it's not a formula, it's not this, it's not that. It's not meant to be a formula, it's someone sharing their experience. And as much as you can love something, you know, because there are always people who say, you should show them how much you love the brand. Love, boo-boo, doesn't pay the bills, honey. And love, boo-boo, is not paying Big H employees all those, you know, thousands of euros in bonuses that they got because they are selling bait items. You know what time it is. At the end of the day, it is about loyalty, and we know that. And the people who love the brand the most are the most loyal to the brand, and you know what I'm trying to say. In my Michael Jackson voice, of course. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you guys, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.